Welcome back to Montana this morning, everyone. The time is 6:45. Just look at that. 1 degree in Billings right now, 2 below zero over in Miles City, and plenty of snow on cars this morning. And by the way, my experience, that snow on your windshield is the kind you have to actually scrape off this morning. So give yourself a few extra minutes to get that car all cleared. Well, this week's extreme weather has kept us guessing, from road conditions to school closures, and we've been working all week to keep you up to date. Samantha Sullivan has kept us up to speed with these changes as they're announced. And Samantha, this is no doubt the biggest snow day list we've seen in quite a while. What all is closed today?
Well, Victoria, you're totally right. The list of schools that are open today is so much shorter than the list of schools that are closed. It's actually kind of crazy. Obviously, the big one today is the Billings School District 2. They're having a rare snow day today, just two in the last maybe 30 years. The main factor, of course, the snow and the bad roads, but also the cold played an even bigger role in that decision. Superintendent Greg Upham says a power issue on Monday in the Heights that closed 5 schools briefly, and an evacuation at one of the elementary schools yesterday due to a blocked sewer vent were wake-up calls that everything becomes more serious when the temperatures are as cold as they are right now. Of course, this weather not expected to let up anytime soon, so we had to ask if more snow days could be in School District 2's future.
We're just going to have to watch and see. The temperatures are supposed to come up a little bit, you know, and if it's one thing to get through snow, it's another to get through the cold. The concern, though, is we're right in maybe in the middle of this. We've got days to go, and so, you know, looking at all those factors, I just felt that it was important due to the facility issues and those other things that we at least take a day, watch this, and see if we can get a little bit warmer weather.
All right, Victoria, so here's the long list that you've been asking for. Billings School District 2 is closed today. Billings Central Catholic Schools, including their preschool, Billings Christian School, Lockwood, and Livingston also closed today. Gardner, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Yellowstone County, Shiloh Christian Academy, Elder Grove Schools, and Shields Valley Schools are closed. Here are a couple that we just got in the last half hour. Big Timber Grade School closed today. Sweetgrass County High School is closed, as well as the Billings Career Center Preschool and MSU Billings. Art of Play Preschool in Billings also closed today. Pioneer Elementary School, Independent School, Trinity Lutheran, and St. Charles Mission also closed. Mount Olive Lutheran School and their preschool having a snow day today. Fortis Academy in Billings, Rapple Shepherd, and Blue Creek, Huntley Project, Hysham, St. Lebray, Elysian, Explorers Academy Head Start in Billings also closed. YMCA Preschool is closed today. Bridger, Reed Point, and Pryor Schools, as we mentioned, all of those are closed today. That entire list, if you didn't catch it all, is all on KTVQ.com, along with some of those 2-hour delays. We still do have some of those as well, those kids who have to be in school today just a little bit later. So for now, Victoria, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you so much for those updates. Turning our attention now to the day's top national headlines. President Trump's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, is set to testify to the House Oversight Reform Committee today. In his explosive prepared testimony, Cohen calls the president, among other things, a con man and racist. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders, who is traveling with the president in Vietnam, said it's laughable that anyone would take a convicted liar like Cohen at his word. Late last year, Cohen was sentenced to 3 years in prison after pleading guilty to campaign finance violations, tax evasion, and lying to Congress. He agreed to cooperate with prosecutors as part of a deal. And Congress has taken a step towards overturning the president's declaration of a national emergency at the Mexican border. Last night, the House of Representatives passed a resolution that would reverse the order. The final tally was 245 to 182, with 13 Republicans voting with the Democrats. It's unclear if the legislation has enough support to make it through the Senate. President Trump has threatened to veto the measure if it gets to his desk. The Billings City Council has voted not to renew the agreement with Landmark Development, the company behind the One Big Sky development project plans. Just 2 weeks ago, the council approved Landmark's One Big Sky development plan, but during this week's City Council meeting, with a split 5-5 vote, it declined to renew with Landmark. The vote was on a separate agreement where the city was agreeing to reimburse Landmark for some of their costs over the last 2 years if they are not involved in the project, even if it goes forward with a different developer. Council failed to approve a reimbursement plan. Q2 spoke with Mayor Bill Cole and Big Sky EDA Director Steve Arviskow, who say there's no doubt this is a bump in the road, but they're optimistic they can get legislation through in Helena to provide the funding tool for One Big Sky district.
It makes that partnership with Landmark very difficult going forward. It sends mixed messages. I mean, there's some realities there that we'll have to work with and manage through. But the fundamental vision, the plan that Council adopted, and the economic development tool that we're working on with Senator Webb, that is still priority #1 right now.
Montana Senator Roger Webb tells Q2 he plans to meet with Billings officials in Helena on Thursday to go over the bill draft and discuss any changes that might be needed before it would be introduced. Meanwhile, the Montana House said yes Tuesday to a pair of bills aimed at helping rural schools find people for hard-to-fill teaching positions. House Bill 420 from Democratic Representative Tyson Running Wolf of Browning creates a grant program to help train local high school students and local professionals to get certified in areas with an identified shortage. It would help people who aren't teachers get certified and help pay for those costs. The House also endorsed House Bill 459 from Republican Representative Becky Beard of Elliston. It would use $500,000 a year in oil and gas tax revenue to create a pair of accounts to help rural school districts recruit and retain teachers. Last week, the House also passed a bill from Republican Lou Jones of Conrad that expands into more rural areas in a state program that helps repay student loans for certain teachers. The total cost of the bills is about $1.5 million over the next 2 years. While they are passing the House, they still have to survive the rest of the session and the competition for funds in the state budget. A bill supported by all 3 of Montana's lawmakers in Washington now sits on President Trump's desk awaiting approval. The House followed the Senate's lead and passed the Public Lands Act on Tuesday. It includes 2 measures important to Montana. It permanently reauthorizes the Land and Water Conservation Fund, and it also withdraws mineral rights and bans mining operations on around 30,000 acres north of Yellowstone Park. Now we go to Gallatin County, where a backcountry skier is dead after getting caught in an avalanche on the west side of the Bridger Mountain Range. Search and rescue crews from the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office and the Bridger Ski Patrol were called out around 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. 2 skiers saw the avalanche start and were able to locate the victim, a 36-year-old man from Bozeman. He was dead at the scene. His identity has not been released. This all comes as avalanche warnings remain in effect for Montana's backcountry areas. In the Bitterroot, avalanche danger is considered high. In south central Montana, experts say conditions are dangerous. New snow poses a concern for slides in the Gallatin and Madison ranges. In addition to yesterday's avalanche death, earlier in the week, a snowmobiler was partially buried near Cook City. Folks are urged to steer clear of steep slopes.
With so much new snow, these avalanches could break 5 feet deep just in the new snow. But we also do have weak layers that formed back in December. And so we could get avalanches. We're expecting avalanches to break all the way down at the ground. So these are going to be really huge slides.
And if you do go out, make sure your beacons, shovels, and probes are working, and be sure to check advisories before heading into the backcountry. Our latest blast of winter weather has Northwestern Energy offering up some winter safety advice. The company is reminding customers to make sure natural gas meters and furnace and appliance vents are free from snow and ice. Blocked vents could result in a loss of heat or buildup of deadly carbon monoxide in homes and other structures. People are also being encouraged to clear snow away gently from natural gas meters to help prevent natural gas regulators from freezing over, which would interrupt the normal flow of natural gas into a home or building. It's also the time of year hospitals see an increase in injuries related to ice and snow. Most occur from slips and falls, but sometimes individuals overexert themselves. People commonly suffer bumps, bruises, and broken bones. Professionals at St. Peter's and Helena say orthopedic injuries are the most common, while shoveling can cause heart issues.
People with pre-existing heart problems and some that don't know they have heart problems, it's quite a bit of a stress test to go out and shovel a foot of snow at a time. And so we do see patients show up with cardiac symptoms and sometimes heart attacks.
And if you feel like you're not physically up for shoveling, don't hesitate to reach out to a neighbor for help. And